Sunderland 0, Liverpool 1. A big victory for Arne Slot's team. And yeah, this was much needed. But as I said, it's still not over. Welcome to Marching Reds. I am Aman Chima, and here I am to review the game between Sunderland and Liverpool played at the Stadium of Light. And it was tricky, it was rainy, but we had it all covered. So let's start from the lineups and the context behind this game. The fact that United and Chelsea dropped their points, we knew that we cannot afford to lose the game, because that would just mean that we are further behind in the race of getting into that top 4, top 5 spots. And we were expecting changes in the lineup because Szoboszlai was suspended, and we got to see 2 changes. So Alisson was back in goal. Instead of Milos Kerkez, we saw Andy Robertson coming in. Virgil van Dijk and Konate were the centre-back pairing, and in the right-back position was Wataru Endo. Although I expected Curtis Jones to start, but when Endo got mentioned, I was like, maybe we would be taking a more pragmatic approach in terms of not overloading the offensive box, because you would potentially see, if Curtis Jones was playing, that he might end up more in the midfield than playing out and out as a right back. And even for that matter, Milos Kerkez would have been bombarding down the left flank. And you could understand that why Arne Slot would have gone for those 2 changes, because in a span of 2 days, after being defeated at home against Manchester City, and especially the manner in which we were defeated, and in these tough away tricky games when you're traveling just after like 48 hours or so, the mental fatigue is one, the physical fatigue is the other thing. But the fact that the internal confidence in the dressing room would have not been at its best, the only way it could have been reignited back was to put in a solid performance. And for that, you needed a solid defense. And I think that is why a back 4 of Endo, Konate, Van Dijk and Robertson was selected. So I do understand the rationale behind it. In the midfield, it was Gravenberch, McAllister, Florian Wirtz, and up top, as expected, were Mohamed Salah, Hugo Ekitike, and Cody Gakpo. In the first half, it was a much better performance to what we saw against Manchester City, and you could already see that Sunderland were comfortable in Liverpool having the ball, and now it was up to Liverpool to make the full use of the possession that they have and hopefully create chances and try to get in ahead in this game. And apart from the last line, I think we did everything just that. As a fan, it was refreshing to see this Liverpool team being at it to tackle the same old challenge that they've been facing this season, but with a fresh new approach. The fact that we were able to create a few chances when you could see Mohamed Salah and Endo linking up, Cody Gakpo and Florian Wirtz were able to find a few moments in and around the Sunderland box. And I think Florian Wirtz almost got the ball in, but it hit the woodwork. And that was the closest I think we got to scoring. And we ended the half 0-0. So definitely in terms of performance, we showed up. And that is something which has always remained in doubt whenever we've switched on a Liverpool game this season, to see whether they are committed or not, whether they are ready to fight or not. So that was good to see. But the fact that the only thing that matters, or that the only thing that counts, is that scoreline, which was 0-0. It just meant that Sunderland are still in the game. And will Liverpool be able to, first of all, after the second half, get back to their own rhythm, continue that sustained pressure, and if possible, get to score also. So second half started well for Sunderland, and then it was all about Liverpool getting the ball back, getting the control back. And I don't think there were any clear-cut chances for Sunderland, but then it became a game of attrition on like when would Liverpool find the next gear and sort of intensify the pressure. And right after the hour mark, we get a corner. Mohamed Salah crosses the ball in. Virgil van Dijk gets his head towards the ball, which was going to the goal, but it hits the Sunderland defender and gets in. Whether it was actually an own goal or the fact that it was given to Van Dijk, it didn't matter to me at all. The fact that we were ahead, there was no offside or VAR check that was required. It didn't matter to me who scored, how it went in, but the fact that the ball went in. So 1-0 Liverpool, and that was a much needed goal at that time, because as soon as the clock clicks in 65, 70, 75 odd minutes, there is a not a temptation, but there is this tendency of Liverpool fans, or for that matter, Liverpool players, just thinking that it might be another day where you should be just happy with the point. But the fact that we got that goal at that point of time gave us something to hold on to. And although even in that regards, our experience is not that to be proud of, the fact that we were coming off after conceding two late goals at our home, and the horrors of that game were starting to creep in after the 85 minutes or so, because that is when the home team started to apply their own pressure with the help of the crowd, and every time they got the ball across the half line, you could see the sense of excitement, hope being increased with all those fans. So we were able to manage those situations very professionally, but that came at a cost. The fact that Wataru Endo, who started at the right back position, tried to clear the ball in one of the defensive situations and overstretched his leg, and that ended up in him injuring his own leg. And it is never a good sight to see a stretcher being pulled out and the player going on it to the dugout. So yeah, I mean, it's been a curse now to start at the right back position for Liverpool, because now we've got what, like 7 odd players that have started in that position for us. I mean, as soon as you want to hope that, okay, it's just the next 2 or 3 weeks that we have to suffer or compromise with, and then hopefully you should start seeing a few players back, then of course you are hit with another injury. And as of now, it seems that he might be out for a long time. And my heart goes out to him. The fact that he played with passion, the fact that he gave his everything to the game today, because he's that kind of a player who is not completely relied upon by Arne Slot. And the fact that he's not making any unwanted noise in and around the training pitch or like off the pitch matters. And I was really impressed with the performance that he gave, and I wanted him to do well also. So yeah, it just pinches me to see the fact that he had to be stretched off. And yeah, I just wish him the speediest of recoveries, because we need that type of a player in our squad. And although what the future holds for us when it comes to Wataru Endo, that might be something that we'll have to be realistic about, but it doesn't take away anything from him. The effort that he gave, the energy that he put on, knowing very well that he's playing out of his position. Like, it's not a center back position that we are asking him to play. It's his second or third most likeliest position that he would be playing at. So my wishes are with him. And then we get to see Curtis Jones come on. Then we get to see Joe Gomez putting on a good performance. Like, he was on for like what, 30 odd minutes or so, if you do include the injury time as well. And Chiesa came on later. So it was a good team performance overall. Alisson was solid. Van Dijk got the goal and looked immense. Konate had a great game too. There were a few moments where like his challenges were being questioned, but he was looking at it and was at it. And I just feel so happy for that man, because he's had a tough season and he's been scrutinized also. Even like I've been critical of him also. But the fact that the last few weeks, with the demise of his father, he had to be so strong emotionally and mentally, and to put in that performance, it just requires all my credit. And Robertson did his part too in the midfield. Gravenberg, McAllister were influential, but there is this one improvement that we need to make if we have to be really clinical in our performance, which I'll come to later. Florian Wirtz, every time he got the ball, Liverpool looked lively, and he could have gotten onto the score sheet also, whether in terms of an assist or a goal as well. So again, that is why you pay that top buck for a top player. And Ekitike, yeah, he missed a few chances, but I mean, he would know better than me that he should have scored a few. Talking about the wingers, Mohamed Salah, I mean, he gives me these moments where he looks completely off, but then with a sudden snapshot here or there, and that shot being just inches away also tells me that mentally he is right there, but it's just not going in for him. And the fact that he's now equal in terms of the most assists for a Liverpool player, along with Steven Gerrard. I mean, the records speak for himself, so good on him. And Cody Gakpo, I mean, he did play better, but then again, there were few moments in which he could have done a lot better. And if he could have been that a bit better, maybe we would have been much more in control. And yeah, so apart from this, there is this one thing that I had to mention, which is the fact that sometimes we look so empty in the midfield. The fact that our forward line is pressing, our midfield is also there to support them, but then the defending line, our back line, is so far behind. So what happens is that if the opposition is able to play through our press, there is this gaping hole right ahead of our back line. And if you've got one more player other than the player who receives the pass for the opposition, then it is all danger signs for Liverpool. So maybe this is something that we are confident in our press, that, like, you know what, okay, this is the high risk that we are taking, and we should be able to get more off the ball and be able to beat the opposition and make sure that our press actually works. Because if it doesn't, then we have to rely on the individual quality of our defenders, which, I mean, I don't doubt it, but then you don't want to see dangerous situations developing more often. So yeah, that would be my only biggest concern, but it's 3 massive points for Liverpool. Now the question is, can we be consistent? Can we make something out of it? Because this game, this victory would mean nothing if we can't make the most of it by putting in same sort of performances, by getting such results over the line and making a really hard push for that top 4, top 5 spot. So you let me know in the comment section on how you thought about the game. The performance was gritty. It was brave. It needed that courage, especially coming after the last result. But in terms of the scoreline, we could have scored a lot more, which would have helped our cause, but it is what it is. Maybe this is just the perfect result that we needed right now. And then, as I've said a few times earlier in the season as well, but I mean it more than ever, that now is the time to make something out of it and to make the most out of it. So these were my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let me know if you were happy with the Arne Slot starting lineup, and put in your early prediction here. Do you think that we'll finish in the top 4, top 5 spots in the Premier League or not? So I'll be having a look of what you have to say. And if you like this video, let me know by liking this video, chiming in with your comments, and also subscribing to my channel. I'll see you very shortly. Till then, take care.